fast food restaurants. The amount of time. But last slide here. That's the end of my talk. And actually, what time are we supposed to end? We have a few minutes, don't we?
11:30.
Okay, cool. So we have some time for questions. Comments? Yes?
What was that foundation you were talking about just now?
The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Yeah. They fund a lot of nonprofits doing different work in communities. And yes?
That's a comment, I guess. I mean, I understand that there's an issue of advertising and stuff like that, but I think there's also a sense of personal responsibility that we as people should be accountable for, because I know, overweight or obese doesn't necessarily entitle just eating quote unquote bad foods, but there's also a lifestyle behind it, which includes exercise and general lifestyle. Because I guess I like how my nutrition teacher put foods into categorizing in a sense. She said there's no such thing as good or bad foods. There's just healthier foods or not so healthy foods, which I think is a great way of putting it. So I mean, I think we should all just, because those are pretty macro ways of correcting this issue, but I think we need to also take a smaller perspective of what we as individuals could do to make that difference, whether it's educating ourselves better, exercising more. But I mean, of course, if you do McDonald's every day, exercise is not gonna, you're not gonna burn more calories than you consume. So that's also an issue.
That's a great comment. And that's an age-old comment, idea, right? Individual behavior versus, should the government even intervene in taxing soda? Should we just have our hands off? My answer to that question is this. I would argue that an individual who is low income, has a very poor food environment, has that many healthy options. Maybe they can go down and they can find that food for less, whatever it is that has healthy options. Let me just do this easier. Two little hashes. Someone that lives in a higher income community, has access to education. Those are their healthy options. That's my argument. I mean, yes, individual behavior is absolutely important. However, the reason why I made that film is because my uncle was like, why are you, it's individual responsibility. He made an argument to me. Everyone should be responsible. He's like, I'm 10 pounds overweight. That's my fault. And he's middle class, white, educated, whatever. And so I made that film for him. I wanted him to say, look, this is what people living in this community deal with. So, where do you live?
Oh, well, I'm from Princeton, here, so we're all about whatever raw foods and whatnot. But I mean, I'm not saying that it's all your fault. I'm just saying that's a combination.
No, and I think you're right. Individual behavior is very important. Yeah, no, it's a great comment. I appreciate it.
As a teacher, you also see, a lot of the kids, first of all, they're children. They don't know how to make the right decisions. They can't be totally responsible for themselves because they're children. And a lot of the schools in these areas do not have any PE. All of that has been cut. One of the first things they'll cut. A lot of times they may have it once a week, PE once a week. And then also you have to remember, most of my parents of children that come from these areas work all the time. So they're not even there to make sure that they're exercising or playing outside or doing whatever. It's almost like kind of a chance they have. It's really sad. It's really sad because they don't have the parental guidance like you would if you're middle class or higher income. And even in the schools, they might not even they're not worried about that. They just want to get them to read. They're not worried so much. That's not the focus in the schools on health and fitness and things like that. And they don't see it. They don't have any adult models that they see doing that. And I don't think their parents work all the time.
And just to add to that, we're all human beings, right? We all have different skin color, experiences, culture, whatever it is. But I don't think that the differences that we see in higher rates of obesity in poor areas or Latino and African American communities. I don't think that these individuals are inherently different and for whatever reason just choose the unhealthy food. I don't think there's an inherent character or behavioral difference between those individuals. However, there are differences in environment, education, culture, all of those factors. So those are all playing a role in just limiting the number of choices that are available. There's a couple comments back here. Yes.
Well, it's not just around food access. I mean, these individuals, even if they wanted to be more physically active, they live in unsafe neighborhoods, they live in communities where there are no sidewalks, where there are no parks. So somehow, yeah, personal responsibility is one of the things that you can look at. But these kids especially haven't failed from the beginning. So it's not fair to say, well, they should just do less and exercise more. There's a lot more factors at play.
And I think another point is that the food industry, that they will always go to personal responsibility as the issue, because they're the ones who are providing the choices. And so I think it's you need to be careful about where the responsibility lies. So, I mean, it's obviously an individual issue, but I think in this country we tend to focus on that more than what are the societal problems, and particularly policy. I mean, policy is what's driving why there's a difference between the cheap food. The cheap food is the crappy food, right? Is the unhealthy food, and the healthy food is more expensive. This is a societal issue. These are policies decided by people in our government. So I think to be involved in this movement, you really have to be engaged in these policy level issues, because they are what created the food system the way it is coming from policies coming out of Washington D.C. And so I mean it's interesting that foundation is going after that issue, because they know that that's where the biggest amount of change, right? And it's the food bill. I mean, there's the farm bill, right? But it should be called the food bill. Is this decision made every 5 years that structures, where the subsidies go. $50 billion are going into subsidizing grains, basically, because of various interests, and particularly corn. And that is one reason that a lot of the processed foods are less expensive.
And here's the deal. If I'm going into business, I can't, my business is, I'm pushing fruits and vegetables, like that's what I'm pushing on everyone. It's one of the hardest products to sell. It's perishable. It's dependent on soil quality in Idaho or Iowa. It requires a lot of water. It's got to be shipped across the country, and a lot of people and kids don't want to eat it. It may not sell very well. So there's all these reasons why our food system has focused on going to a store in the inner city. What's going to make profit? Liquor, right? Endless shelf life, high return. So just kind of feeding off what you were saying, it's really challenging. Go ahead.
Well, that way you have become a culture that's accustomed to seeing every single kind of fruit or vegetable every time of the year. And so you wonder why some fruits are more expensive, because they're not supposed to be grown on that season. You do get an overabundance, just how strawberries are coming out now, where it's a lot cheaper to be able to get them 99 cents, compared to if you buy them in the wintertime and you could get them about $5. And so it's really learning how to actually have those seasonal foods in our grocery stores, in our supermarkets, our farmers markets, to be able to actually get our prices lower. Because you can have those overabundant crops if you grow them seasonally, and that's when you actually buy them as well, instead of getting them shipped in from Ecuador or everywhere else and actually buying locally still.
So that's an excellent point, and we have these industrial farms across the country, and small farms get swallowed up by larger farms. And right now there was a bill going in, maybe you know more about it, but it's regulations on farming, and all the small organic farmers can't pay to keep up with all these regulations, and so they'll maybe go out of business. And if you just get these bigger factory farms, and what happens is there's no sense of accountability or autonomy, which is why growing food locally, and I'm part of San Diego, Slow Food Urban San Diego. If any of you have heard of Slow Food. Right now, honestly, it's a bunch of white people. We really need to diversify, so if I can recruit any of you guys to get involved. It's been argued that it's an elitist movement, but there's a lot of great social justice work going on within that movement. So, but encouraging people to eat seasonally and locally, if we could have some sort of autonomy in San Diego, like San Diego is the largest